So last weekend we got to know each other a little bit better, and if you're comfortable, today I would like to ask you more personal questions.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Okay. Last week you told me that you have decided to seek help for your previous alcohol problem. With that being said, what made you susceptible to alcohol so that it was able to dominate your life?
The problem really started getting bad when my husband died about 8 years ago.
Okay. And what did he die of?
He had breast cancer.
Okay. And I'm sorry. Did you notice any patterns or things that would happen right before you would start to drink more than usual?
I think it would get really bad when I would start thinking about, obviously thinking about James and kind of realizing that I'm going to have to deal with problems and feelings that I have by myself when I'm just so used to having him there to kind of help me through everything.
Right. And has alcohol gotten you to anything you usually wouldn't do?
It has actually. Some things even surprised myself. There was one night where I was just feeling really low and everything was just going wrong, and I ended up drinking almost an entire bottle of tequila by myself. And after that, I still felt so bad that I got in my car and I drove to a liquor store and bought myself another bottle while I was already intoxicated. I never imagined myself doing that, and it was just one of the worst things I've ever done.
Right. Do you think drinking affects your career?
It definitely does. I used to be very involved in my business and just very on top of things, and since this problem has gotten worse over the years, my daughter has actually been running my business for me. I'm barely even included in my own business because of this problem.
Okay. Do you feel or see yourself differently when you're drinking versus when you're not drinking?
Well, when I'm sober, a lot of times I will kind of reflect on what I remember from being drunk, and I just feel so worthless and depressed and ashamed of myself, really, because I feel like I'm a mother, I have a business, I'm supposed to be in control of my life, and here is this substance that is just turning my life completely upside down, and it makes me feel weak and vulnerable because it's taking control of everything. I no longer have control of my life.
All right. And would you like to change how you see and feel about yourself?
I definitely do. I can barely remember a time where I felt good about myself and my actions and my decisions. And I don't have that right now.
Okay. Good. That's a great sign, and I think we should use that towards your motivation to turn your life around and achieve those changes you want to see in your life.
Right.
So we talked about your seeking help before for this problem. Have you ever felt like you found a plan or a schedule that would help you stay sober if you decided to?
Well, like we talked about last year, I've kind of been in and out of rehab a few times, and I kind of used what they taught me to channel that energy into trying to talk to my family more or trying to be more social. So I would do that, but then I would just fall right back into it when I would get upset again.
Right. What caused you to go back and forth with rehab?
Well, the reason why I kept trying to go back when I wasn't forced to go was because I really felt when I was there, after I got over being upset that I was being made to go, I had a really great support system with these people who were experiencing the same things that I was, and people that are trained to help me get over these problems.
Okay, and have you used anything you learned to stay sober out of rehab?
Well, like I said, I kind of just try really hard. I try my best to channel all of that negativity and try to make it into a positive thing and reach out and try to talk to my family a little bit more, but I'm kind of struggling a little bit with that.
Okay, do you feel confident in your ability to stay sober?
I don't. I've actually been sober for almost a month now. It'll be a month in a couple of days.
Okay, that's good.
And I just feel like it's going to be like every other time where I'll stay sober and then I'll just go right back to it without even notice. It's something inside me that just snaps back to what I'm used to.
Right. What would make you feel more confident in your ability to stay sober?
I really believe that if you and I can kind of just talk through all of the problems, all of the emotions that I have, I think if we just kind of get all of that figured out, I will have that sense of the support that I had when I was in rehab without actually having to be in that treatment center. I'll have that support that I need to kind of push me in the right direction and stay on the right path that I want to be on.
Right. Alright, so what I'm going to do is take everything that we have talked about into consideration and come up with a plan that I feel will be very beneficial and effective to get you through this process. And you can overcome the problems you have been experiencing by getting to the root of the problem. We have already made so much progress to getting you to where you want to be. Next week we will go over this plan, and if you are comfortable with it, we will continue to move forward. Until then, if you do have the urge to drink, you should always call a family member or a friend who you can confide in. Talking through it will keep that urge away.